Hi, this is Trey Pass. Welcome to my review of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 without spoilers. Okay, this is the seventh movie, I believe, in the franchise, and I have to be perfectly honest. Excuse me. When this series first started, I didn't really like the first movie because I was a big fan of Mission Impossible, the TV show, and I loved it, with Peter Graves. It was just a great TV show. Had one of the all-time classic themes songs for a TV show. But I actually loved that show. And in the first movie, again, this is a little bit of a spoiler, when they made Jim Phelps, who was the guy who would get the briefcase and open it up and get the mission revealed to him, and the mission would blow up, and then he would assemble his team and they would go solve the mission. So when they had John Boy, who was playing Jim Phelps, they had him be a bad guy, really, and basically kill off his whole team, except for Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise. I hated that because I really liked the show, and I thought making Jim Phelps the bad guy was a bad thing to do. But I see what Tom Cruise did, because Tom Cruise wanted to make it a franchise with his character, so that's why I guess he had to get the character of Jim Phelps out of the way, so to speak, and then form his own new team with every movie and stuff. And so, like I said, I hated. Like I said, I didn't particularly like the first movie because of that point, but I learned to get over that. And like I said, then from the second movie on, I was a big fan of the Mission Impossible movies. So I think Tom Cruise he is really, I guess, the last real movie star. I think him and maybe Harrison Ford, I think, are the last real movie stars, like people that you will go to the movie to see their movies, anything that they'll do, that you will go out to the theater to see it, because that's how much charisma he has and how much effort he puts into it, and he puts his all into these movies that he makes and stuff. He does his own stunts, and Tom Cruise he's just a professional and a perfectionist, and the fact that he's willing to put his body and everything he has on the line to make these movies as thrilling as possible. This shows you what type of a person he is, and what kind of a great actor he is. And that's why I really appreciate these movies that he's done. And he kind of keeps up in the ante with these movies and stuff. And it's just a joy to watch. And this movie is no exception. This movie is the basic plot with the IMF team. They have to track down a weapon that could change the face of the world and stuff. That's basically the plot of this. And if you've seen the trailers, basically a bunch of Tom Cruise running around, his infamous running. But it has a great cast to it. Besides Tom Cruise, of course, excuse me, you have Simon Pegg as Benji Dunn, Ving Rhames as Luther Stockwell, that's his team, and Rebecca Ferguson as Ilsa Faust. That's his team. And then you also have Vanessa Kirby in this. You have Asa Morales, he's in this as well, who I'm a big fan of. I love what he did on the Titans season 2, where he played Deathstroke. I thought he was this great. Asa Morales, I'm a real big fan of his. You got Henry Czerny, who I think he was in the first movie, first or second movie. He makes a return to this movie. And you have, her name is Palm Klimeteff. She plays Paris. She played Mantis, of course, in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. She's in this as well. Like I said, Haley Atwell, who I'm a big fan of. She plays Grace in this movie. I'm a big Haley Atwell fan. She played, of course, Peggy Carter in the MCU, and I'm just a big fan of Haley Atwell. I think she's just a tremendous. I love that show, Peggy Carter. I think it only lasted 2 seasons, I think, but she's just absolutely fantastic. I think the last thing she was in was the Doctor Strange movie. She played the Captain America part in that multiverse movie. But I'm absolutely love Haley Atwell. To me, she's just, and hopefully these movies, she should be a star, because she's just so talented. Again, I loved what she did as Peggy Carter, in the movies and the TV show. She was just fantastic, and I'm a big fan of hers. And I like what she did in this movie. And again, this movie has thrills, shooting all over the world, amazing stunts. It's just fantastic. Tom Cruise knows how to make a movie. He knows to give you death-defying stunts, great action sequences, good bad guys, and just breathtaking, stunts and action sequences. Him and Christopher McQuarrie, I think he's done the last three movies. I think he's done the last three movies. They're a great team together, and they do a fantastic job with this movie. Again, this is part one of two, obviously, and this movie doesn't disappoint. It has action. There's some things I didn't like, which I'll explain in my spoilers review. But for the most part, I absolutely love this movie. It just had thrills. Again, this movie's like 2 hours and 40 something minutes, but I wasn't bored throughout it or nothing like that. Maybe you could have cut maybe 20 minutes of it, maybe, but I wasn't bored at all through this movie. This movie kept my attention all the way through, okay? And just a fantastic movie, and I can't wait for part two. And I'm just definitely recommend it. Definitely go see. This is probably the best, the best summer movie that's come out so far. So definitely check this out. Anyway, let me know what you think. I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. Okay, and there's a reason why I would give it a higher rating, but there's a reason why I don't, and I'll explain that in my spoilers review. But again, this movie rocks for me. It hits all cylinders in my opinion, and I can't wait to see part two, which I think comes out next summer. Okay, and again, they shot this movie I think during the pandemic, so there was like breaks between it and stuff. But this movie is just really good, and I really recommend it. Definitely go check this out. Anyway, again, I give it an 8 out of 10 for me. Anyway, go check this out. Links to my social media in the description, or I'll give it an 8, like I said, or an A minus, I guess. Anyway, links to my social media in the description box. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I also have a link to my other channel, Bob Views and Opinions. We check that out as well. Also have a link down below to my Patreon, which is only $5 a month. I have tons of content on there. I have unedited content on there. I got Marvel shows, DC shows. I have movies on there. I got Star Wars shows. Follow link below to the Patreon. It's only $5 a month if you want to support me to get all that unedited content. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long. Take care.